What is a profession that was once highly respected, but is now a complete joke? I still have my father's press badge hanging in my office. It's faded now, with his serious face looking back at me from a photo taken in 1985. Dad was a newspaper journalist for 42 years. Back then, people would stop him on the street to thank him for his reporting, for uncovering corruption at City Hall, for making sure the truth got printed. Every Sunday morning of my childhood, Dad would spread the newspaper across our kitchen table. "This," he'd say, tapping the front page, "is how we keep the powerful honest." His fingers would be stained with ink, and I thought that was the mark of someone important, someone trustworthy. I followed in his footsteps, getting my journalism degree in 2008, just as newspapers were dying. Dad was so proud at my graduation. "The world will always need good reporters," he told me, squeezing my shoulder. I believed him. My first job was at the same paper where Dad had worked for decades. But while he had once led a team of 30 reporters, I joined a newsroom of just 8. We couldn't afford to spend months investigating a story. We needed clicks, quick hits, sensational headlines. Dad would visit the newsroom sometimes, and I'd see the sadness in his eyes as he looked around the half-empty space. He never criticized, just asked questions about my latest story. But I knew he noticed when accuracy got sacrificed for speed. When breaking news replaced thorough fact-checking. The real breaking point came during the 2016 election. Our editor called me in and explained that my in-depth policy analysis wasn't getting enough traffic. "Write something about the candidate's hair or his wife's dress," he suggested. "That's what people want to read." That night, I told Dad I was thinking of leaving journalism. We sat on his porch swing, the same spot where he used to edit his Pulitzer-nominated series on police corruption. He didn't speak for a long time. "When I started," he finally said, "we were watchdogs. Now they want you to be a lapdog or a circus dog, performing tricks for treats." 3 months later, Dad had a stroke. In the hospital, barely able to speak, he motioned for me to bring him his phone. With shaking fingers, he pulled up an article from a small, independent news site. It was a detailed investigation into local water, contamination with public records, scientific analysis, and personal stories of affected families. No sensationalism, just facts. "Still exists," he whispered, "just harder to find." Dad didn't recover. At his funeral, dozens of people told me how his reporting had changed their lives, exposed wrongdoing, given voice to the voiceless. The editor who'd asked me to write fluff pieces didn't attend. I left the newspaper the following week. I now run a small digital newsroom funded by readers, not advertisers. We don't get rich, but we sleep well. Sometimes I wonder what Dad would think of journalism today, where misinformation spreads faster than truth, where reporter has become a punchline or an insult. But then I remember his last message to me: good journalism isn't dead, it just needs people willing to fight for it.